Welcome everyone in this video. We are going to analyze whether Swftcoin is preparing to explode. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and please watch to the end to understand. In the previous analysis video, we highlighted a clearly visible flag pattern on the chart, and this formation still maintains its technical validity. This type of pattern typically forms after a strong upward price move, followed by a brief consolidation phase. In essence, it reflects a period where buyers take a temporary pause while price fluctuates within a tight range, signaling indecision in the market. That's exactly what we're currently observing. After a strong upward breakout, price has begun to compress within the flag structure. At this stage, price continues to oscillate within the boundaries of the flag pattern. The movement between the upper and lower bands indicates that market participants are still undecided. Neither buyers nor sellers currently have a clear upper hand. However, such scenarios often precede a high-volume breakout. Given the technical nature of flag formations, the likelihood of an upward breakout is statistically higher. In technical analysis literature, flags are considered continuation patterns, which means they typically resolve in the direction of the preceding trend, in this case, upward. One key detail to watch is how price behaves within the formation. Every time price approaches the lower boundary of the flag, it's met with notable buying interest. However, at the upper boundary, we've yet to see a decisive breakout candle. This reflects a cautious but optimistic market sentiment. Investors seem to be waiting for a confirmed breakout to the upside. For those who rely on technical analysis, a breakout above the flag could trigger strong buying interest, which would likely cause volume to surge at that moment. It's also worth remembering that the longer the price remains compressed within a narrow range, the more explosive the breakout tends to be. That's because orders accumulate during the consolidation, and once the breakout occurs, they're triggered almost simultaneously. Buy stops are activated, short positions are liquidated, and a domino effect drives price rapidly toward target levels. This is why patience and confirmation are key when trading flag patterns. The size of the pattern also matters. Looking at the current flag, the structure appears healthy relative to the magnitude of the prior move. Analyzing the flag's slope, base width, and time frame, we can reasonably project that if a breakout occurs, price could rise by at least the height of the flagpole. This points to a significant upside potential from current levels. In technical analysis, the target after a flag breakout is typically measured by projecting the length of the flagpole upward from the breakout point. So the stronger the initial move, the more room there is for price to climb afterward. Looking at the current chart, this target zone appears quite compelling, with a highly favorable risk-reward ratio. In short, the flag pattern remains intact, and price continues to consolidate tightly within it. Although a breakout hasn't occurred yet, the probability of an upside resolution remains high, both from a technical standpoint and based on the price's recent behavior. It's crucial for traders and investors to monitor this closely and be ready with a sound strategy if a breakout does occur. If the breakout is supported by strong volume, it could lead to a powerful rally, potentially carrying price toward the next key resistance levels. That said, relying solely on the flag pattern or trendliness isn't enough. For a more complete and accurate analysis, additional metrics and indicators should be considered. Stay tuned. The technical structure we've been closely monitoring on the chart, particularly the flag pattern, now appears to be transitioning into a new phase as price action begins to challenge the boundaries of the formation. This flag pattern typically forms after a strong upward move, followed by a consolidation period where price compresses within a defined range. Historically, these patterns tend to resolve with an upward breakout, and when that happens, it's considered a strong bullish signal from a technical analysis standpoint. The upper boundary of the flag currently serves as a ceiling for price action. If this level is broken, it could very well ignite the next wave of upward momentum. The current chart structure shows that price is approaching this upper trend line, and buyers appear to be making a serious effort to push through it. If this breakout occurs with sufficient volume, the next immediate target would be the major resistance zone located just above the flag. This resistance zone is technically significant. It has served as a barrier in the past, where price has repeatedly tested and failed to break through. Looking back at previous price action, it's evident that this level has drawn considerable attention from both buyers and sellers, with high trading activity seen historically. As a result, price may face some short-term selling pressure upon reaching this level, potentially slowing down the upward momentum or triggering a minor pullback. However, as a well-known principle in technical analysis states, resistance weakens with each test. If price reaches this resistance again and buyers step in with enough strength, the sell orders clustered around that level may start to thin out. Once cleared, this can trigger a strong, accelerated breakout. Following the breakout from the flag and a successful breach of this resistance, the market tends to enter a new phase with renewed bullish momentum, and price discovery begins to take shape. At this point, it's not just technical indicators that matter. Market psychology plays a crucial role as well. Flag formations and breakout points like this are widely recognized by traders. As a result, when price begins to break out, both manual traders and algorithmic systems often initiate new long positions. This creates a surge in volume, which helps fuel the breakout and reinforces the strength of the move. Once this resistance is broken, price effectively moves into uncharted territory, entering a new trend zone. At that point, previous highs are no longer relevant reference points, and the market enters a price discovery phase, a period during which price explores new levels it hasn't reached before. These phases are typically filled with high opportunity and momentum, especially for trend-following traders. It's also important to note that breaking a formation and then clearing key resistance is not just about price levels being surpassed. It signals a major shift in market sentiment. When price has been stuck in a range for an extended time, breaking out of that range can significantly increase investor expectations and buying interest. This often leads to rapid upward moves in a short period of time. In conclusion, if the price breaks out from this flag formation, the first major test will be the strong resistance zone that has historically acted as a barrier. But breaching this zone wouldn't just mark the achievement of a technical target, it could also signal the beginning of a larger bullish trend. And once that purple resistance zone I've pointed out is broken, that's when the real move is likely to happen. When we take a closer look at the MACD indicator, we can observe a rather interesting structure currently forming. Notably, the MACD lines are still positioned above the zero line, which in technical analysis is generally interpreted as a sign that the price still carries positive momentum and the core structure of the uptrend hasn't been completely broken yet. However, it's also clear that a bearish crossover has recently occurred in the short term, meaning the MACD line has crossed below the signal line. Such downward crossovers are typically seen as an indication of waning momentum and can often signal the beginning of short-term corrective moves. But here's the key point. Since this crossover has occurred above the zero line, it's not yet considered a strong bearish signal. In fact, these types of crossovers can sometimes simply represent temporary pauses in the trend, followed by a continuation to the upside once the market regains strength. What's important to monitor now is how the MACD lines behave in the coming candles. If price action begins to turn positive again, and this is accompanied by a new bullish crossover, with the MACD line crossing back above the signal line, that would be a very constructive technical signal. This would indicate that momentum is returning, buying pressure is increasing, and the broader market trend may be resuming to the upside. In particular, a bullish crossover occurring while the MACD remains above the zero line is often a strong sign of renewed upside momentum. It shows that confidence is returning to the market and that buyers are starting to regain control. A crossover in this region doesn't just provide a short-term buy signal, it also supports the continuation of the existing trend. So, the MACD is currently presenting us with a somewhat mixed but optimistic picture. Yes, we are seeing signs of short-term weakness, but the broader structure remains intact. If price begins to recover and that recovery is confirmed with a bullish MACD crossover, this could trigger a strong upward move. As a result, the next few candles and how the MACD reacts will be crucial in determining the next direction for the market. In summary, while the current bearish crossover on the MACD does suggest caution in the short term, the fact that it's occurring above the zero line implies that the downside may be limited and a potential rebound remains on the table. If that rebound comes and is accompanied by a fresh bullish crossover, the odds of another leg up in price increase significantly. For now, patience is key. Yes, friends, I hope you liked the video. If you subscribe to my channel and like the video, more videos will be coming. Be careful in your investments, analyze the risks correctly, and always take strategic steps. I will be with you with different analyses, investment opportunities, and technical information in my videos. I wish you all a lot of profit. See you soon.